The secret of Hurrem Sultan. What really happened in Chernobyl? What if I told you that the woman who ruled the heart of the Ottoman Empire was once part of a dark ritual hidden in the forests of Chernobyl? Most of us know her as Hurrem Sultan, or Roxelana, the beloved wife of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, but her past remains a mystery. What happened before she entered the palace of Topkapi? What if that past was cursed? The Chernobyl route. No one talks about. Historians agree. Roxelana was born in modern-day Ukraine, possibly in Rhatin, but during the slave raids of the early 1500s, she was captured and taken south. The mainstream story says she was moved straight to the Crimean Khanate and then sold into the Ottoman harem. But old Ottoman slave trade documents, now mostly destroyed in the fire of the Istanbul archives in 1918, speak of a hidden forest ritual site used by Crimean raiders. This site, in the region now known as Chernobyl, one 16th century map, banned by the empire, shows an alternative slave route, one that passed directly through the marshes and thick woods of northern Ukraine, close to the Pripyat River. This path was used only for slaves deemed special. Why? Because in the deep woods of ancient Chernobyl, there were pagan shrines, and certain slaves were believed to be marked by the stars, destined for great or terrible things. Hurrem was one of them. The ritual. The local folklore of Chernobyl contains haunting stories about a red-haired girl with eyes like fire who was brought through the forest under heavy guard. Villagers swore she was chained and screaming, but the raiders took her to an old stone circle known as the Womb of the Earth. That circle, now long gone, likely buried under radioactive soil, was said to be a place of offerings. She was not killed. She was left there overnight, alone. In the morning, she was different, silent, eyes open wide, calm. The next recorded time her name appears is in Istanbul as the concubine of Suleiman. What happened in that forest? The forbidden letters of Suleiman. Here's where it gets darker. Suleiman the Magnificent, ruler of the most powerful Islamic empire, was obsessed with Hurrem. That's no secret, but a newly translated set of private letters between Suleiman and his personal alchemist reveals something disturbing. In one, the Sultan writes, "She brings dreams, terrible, beautiful dreams. I see fire and ash, dead trees, glowing beasts. When I wake, she smiles. She says, 'It is not your time yet.'" These dreams match modern descriptions of Chernobyl's Red Forest, post-1986. But how? That was 460 years later. Did Hurrem carry something with her? A vision? A curse? One theory suggests she was touched by an ancient Slavic force, older than Christianity, older than Islam, something buried beneath Chernobyl's soil, and she brought it into the heart of the Ottoman Empire, the fire that wouldn't die in 1553. Years after Hurrem had become legal wife to Suleiman, a mysterious fire broke out in one of her private libraries in the harem. Witnesses say the fire did not spread, only consumed. One scroll burned without smoke gave off a blue light. The scroll, it had no title, only symbols resembling Slavic runes and solar eclipses. Hurrem cried 4 days after the fire, refusing to speak. Some say she whispered, "It has returned to the earth, where it belongs." The Chernobyl Prophecy, 1986. When Reactor 4 exploded in Chernobyl, few knew about a monk named Father Dmitri, who claimed to have translated a 16th century manuscript found buried in an old Orthodox monastery. The text described a woman of fire who would rise from the north and cast a shadow over the lands of the south. She would speak with kings, charm serpents, and carry with her the echo of death. The manuscript ends with a chilling phrase, "And when the red forest burns, her story shall return, and the world will listen again." Some believe Hurrem Sultan was never just a concubine. She was a vessel, a prophet, a curse, and Chernobyl was the beginning and the end. What they never told you. This story isn't in your school books. It's not in your history classes, because it was meant to be buried, just like the ancient stones, beneath Chernobyl's radioactive soil. But now, the forest is quiet again. Too quiet, and maybe, just maybe, She's still there,